You have been in a test. For the past few weeks, perhaps even months, you have been undergoing a silent cosmic exam without even realizing it. This is your official notification. The test is over. And you passed. This is not a metaphor. It is a description of a quantum coherence assessment, a highly sophisticated process the universal field uses to verify which nodes of consciousness are stable enough, coherent enough, to anchor higher dimensional realities. It is a graduation. And in this moment, your results have been officially verified. In the next 50 minutes, I will explain exactly what this test was, the counterintuitive signs that prove you passed, and precisely what your new verified frequency status unlocks for you now, in your tangible day-to-day reality. This is not about belief. This is about physics. The physics of resonance and constructive interference. Your consciousness, your very energetic signature, has just demonstrated a stable enough waveform to graduate. You have moved from a chaotic field into a coherent one. This is the very reason why everything has felt so impossibly intense lately. The confusion, the deep, penetrating sense of isolation, the feeling of being pushed right to your absolute breaking point. That wasn't failure. That wasn't a sign you were on the wrong path. That was the final exam. Every challenge was a question. Every moment of pressure was a calibration. Have you ever felt like the universe was pushing you to a limit, testing your very resolve, especially in these last few months? That feeling was real. It was the system verifying your capacity to hold a new light, a new foundational code for reality. You were being measured not for your worthiness, but for your stability under immense pressure. The old you had to dissolve. The old world had to fall away. Friendships, jobs, identities, beliefs, all of it was placed on a vibrational crucible. What could not withstand the heat of your new frequency had to burn away, leaving only the pure, resonant core of who you have now become. That feeling of being in a void, a no man's land between worlds. That was the silent auditorium after you turned in your paper, waiting for the results to be posted. And this transmission is the universe posting your name on the graduation list. If receiving this notification feels like the exact confirmation you've been praying for, hit the like button now to anchor this verification into your reality. So what is a quantum frequency test? And how does it actually work? Let me break down the physics of your graduation. The universe is not a person. It does not judge. It is a system of physics that responds to frequency. When a consciousness is ready to evolve, to hold a more complex and powerful creative signal, the surrounding field will naturally increase its pressure to test the integrity of that signal. It introduces seemingly chaotic events, discordant relationships, and existential pressures. These are not punishments. They are vibrational stress tests. The system is asking a simple physical question. Can you hold your new higher frequency of peace, of knowing, of love, even when the entire world around you seems to reflect the old frequency of chaos and fear? Can you remain the tuning fork when everything else is static? For months you have been doing just that. You held the line. You held the light, even when you had no logical reason to. This entire process can be understood through the central metaphor of a cosmic graduation exam. Life wasn't punishing you. It was testing your mastery over the curriculum you came here to learn. Every soul chooses a curriculum before incarnating. Lessons in trust, sovereignty, love, abundance. The recent period of your life was the final practical exam for the module you have just completed. The challenges weren't designed to make you fail. They were designed to give you the perfect opportunity to demonstrate your mastery. And you did. You chose presence over panic. You chose trust over terror. You chose your internal signal over the external noise. By the end of this transmission, you will move from wondering if you're going crazy to knowing with absolute certainty that you have graduated. You will understand the tangible evidence left behind in your life that proves it, and you will receive the operational manual for how to wield the new creative authority that comes with your verified status. Your reality is about to change, because you already have. Welcome to your new beginning. So what is a quantum frequency test, and how does it actually work? Let me break down the physics of your graduation. It all begins with a principle called quantum coherence. Imagine your consciousness as a broadcast signal. For most of your life, that signal has been what physicists call decoherent. It's a messy waveform, full of static, pulled in 1,000 different directions by fear, doubt, societal programming, and past trauma. A decoherent signal is reactive. It gets distorted by its environment. When chaos happens outside of you, chaos happens inside of you. This is the default state for most of humanity. A consciousness that is a product of its circumstances, not a creator of them. A coherent frequency is different. It is pure. It is stable. It is a perfect, symmetrical waveform. Think of a perfectly struck tuning fork. Its vibration is so pure, so stable that it doesn't just make a sound. It compels other objects around it to resonate with its own frequency. It brings order to its environment. This is coherence. A coherent consciousness is one that holds its core frequency of peace, clarity, and inner knowing, regardless of the chaos happening in the external world. It is a signal so stable that it begins to organize reality around itself, rather than being organized by reality. The test, the one you just passed, was an environmental pressure cooker designed to force a choice. The universe systematically increased the energetic chaos in your field, the decoherence, to see if you would finally collapse the old reactive waveform and choose, consciously or unconsciously, to generate a new, stable, coherent one from within. This entire process has a formal name. We call it the quantum frequency verification. It is the universe's most fundamental quality control system. Think of it as an energetic safety protocol. The universal field does not and cannot grant access to higher order creative power, the ability to consciously architect reality, to an unstable, decoherent frequency. To do so would be like giving the keys to a nuclear reactor to someone who is emotionally volatile. The potential for catastrophic creation, for manifesting realities based on fear and chaos, is too high. So the system must verify your stability first. It must confirm that your core energetic signature can withstand pressure without fracturing. It needs proof that you can hold a frequency of love in the face of hate, a frequency of abundance in the face of lack, a frequency of wholeness in the face of a world that feels broken. This verification is not a judgment. It is a measurement. It is pure physics. And this is precisely why your old perceptions of reality have been failing you so spectacularly. Your ego mind, trained to see life as a linear progression of cause and effect, has been interpreting this verification process as a series of problems. The job that suddenly ended, the relationship that dissolved overnight, the financial pressure that seemed to come from nowhere, the profound sense of isolation. Your mind labeled these events as bad luck. It saw them as failure, as proof that you were doing something wrong, that life was falling apart. But from a quantum perspective, your life wasn't falling apart. It was being dismantled. The universe wasn't punishing you with problems. It was applying precise pressure to the weakest, most decoherent points in your energetic structure. The old, unstable constructs had to be dissolved to make room for the new, verified one to be built in its place. The career built on a frequency of self-doubt had to go. The partnership built on a frequency of codependence had to end. Anything in your reality that was not a vibrational match to the new, coherent you that was struggling to be born was systematically and often brutally removed from your field. It wasn't a demolition, it was a recalibration. This leads us to the new paradigm. The single most important insight you must grasp to operate in your new reality. Challenges are not punishments. Challenges are coherence tests. Every single obstacle, every difficult person, every moment of despair that you faced was an exquisitely designed question from the universe. And the question was always the same. Can you hold your center now? Can you maintain your new stable frequency even when the storm is raging around you? Your resistance to the test creates decoherence. Fighting what is, complaining about your circumstances, falling into victimhood. All this does is add more static to your signal, proving to the universal field that you are still operating from the old, reactive programming. It is the definition of failing the test. But radical acceptance, choosing presence over panic, finding that still point within you and anchoring into it, that creates coherence. That is how you pass. This is the vibrational shift explained simple. The universe introduces chaos to see if you can hold a frequency of peace within it. Think back over the last few months. Can you identify that specific period where it felt like reality itself was pushing you to your absolute limit, demanding a new version of you to emerge? That wasn't a breakdown. That was your final exam. And your presence here, receiving this transmission now, is the evidence that in the moment of greatest pressure, you did not break. You broadcast. You held the line. You generated a stable signal from within, and the universal field heard it, measured it, and stamped it. Verified. For your entire life, you have operated under a silent, foundational assumption. An assumption so deep it has colored every prayer, every intention, every moment of struggle. The assumption is this: that you are a student in a cosmic classroom, and that the universe, God, or the source is the grand teacher, giving you tests to see if you are worthy. Worthy of abundance, worthy of love, worthy of peace, worthy of graduation. We believe life's challenges are designed to measure our merit, and this entire paradigm, this entire framework of reality is fundamentally incorrect. It is the single greatest misunderstanding of our cosmic purpose. Prepare yourself for the central revelation of your entire spiritual journey. The universe was not testing you to see if you were worthy. The revelation is this: the universe was using your consciousness as a stabilization rod, testing to see if a higher, more coherent reality was worthy of being anchored through you. Read that again in your mind. You are not the student taking the exam. You are the exam. This changes everything. It flips the entire dynamic of power from external to internal. It means you are not a passive subject hoping for a passing grade from a distant deity. You are an active, essential, and non-negotiable component of cosmic evolution. Your personal stability is not just a personal victory, it is a universal breakthrough. It is the literal mechanism through which new worlds are born. The chaos you endured was the universal field sending its most unstable, incoherent frequencies into your field, not to see if you would break, but to see if you could hold a coherent signal powerful enough to transform that chaos into order. You were never being judged, you were being measured. Not for your worthiness, but for your creative power. Your capacity to be the calm in the storm, the eye of the hurricane, the still point around which a new reality could finally crystallize. And with this understanding, your entire approach to life shifts. Instantly. You stop trying to solve the problems, you stop trying to pass the test. You stop trying to figure out the right answers and perform the right spiritual rituals to appease some cosmic examiner. You simply focus on being. The state of being you can hold, the frequency you can maintain regardless of external conditions, is the answer to every single question on the test. It is effortless. It is a state of surrender, of presence, of radical acceptance. This is how to know you passed the consciousness test. You stopped trying to fight reality and instead became the calm center around which it could reorganize. You didn't conquer the storm. You became the silence that absorbed it. What if the most challenging person or situation in your life wasn't an obstacle, but the final examiner sent to verify your mastery over the old frequency? This insight initiates a profound identity transformation. It is a quantum leap in self-perception. You are no longer a spiritual seeker trying to ascend. That identity has dissolved. The seeker implies something is lost or separate. You are no longer trying to climb a ladder to a higher dimension. You are a reality anchor. You are a foundational pillar. A living, breathing point of coherence through which a new, more stable, more beautiful earth can manifest. Your work wasn't to escape this world, but to fundamentally transform it from the inside out, simply by achieving a verified, stable state of being. You are the portal you have been searching for. This graduation is not just an abstract concept. It isn't a metaphor. It left tangible evidence in the fabric of your recent life, quantum fingerprints all over your graduation certificate. The challenge is, you have likely been trained to misinterpret this evidence as failure, as loss, as proof that you were doing something wrong. Today that misinterpretation ends. I am now going to walk you through the 3 undeniable signs that prove you have passed the quantum frequency verification. As I describe them, I want you to look back over the last few months of your life, not as a victim of circumstances, but as a detective searching for the evidence of your own mastery. The first sign is the Great Shedding. For many of you, the most intense phase of the test was marked by an accelerated and often involuntary loss of things you once held dear. A career path that you spent years building suddenly felt hollow, or it was taken from you. A relationship that was a cornerstone of your identity dissolved, seemingly overnight. Friendships that lasted decades simply faded away without conflict or explanation. Interests and hobbies that once brought you joy suddenly felt like static, like they belonged to a different person entirely. The ego mind registers this as catastrophic loss. It feels like your world is falling apart, that you are being abandoned, that you have failed. But from a quantum perspective, something entirely different was happening. This wasn't loss. This was a frequency clearing. The universe, in its infinite intelligence, was clearing every decoherent frequency from your personal field. Anything, and anyone, that could not hold resonance with the new, higher, more stable frequency you were being calibrated to, had to be removed. It was not a punishment. It was a preparation. Imagine trying to broadcast a crystal-clear radio signal from a station filled with static, noise, and conflicting frequencies. You could have the most powerful transmitter in the world, but your signal would be garbled and weak. The Great Shedding was the universe lovingly and efficiently removing every source of static from your broadcasting station. It cleared away the jobs, the relationships, and the identities that were vibrating at the old chaotic frequency, so that your new, verified signal could broadcast into the field with absolute purity and power. It didn't take things from you. It made space for what is now coming to you. It wasn't your world ending. It was your field being purified. The second sign, which often happens concurrently with the first, is the synchronistic barrage. As the old structures were dissolving, you likely noticed a sudden, almost overwhelming increase in meaningful coincidences. Seeing repeating number sequences everywhere you look, 1111, 222, 444, on clocks, license plates, receipts. Thinking of someone you haven't spoken to in years, and they text you moments later. Having a complex problem on your mind, only to overhear a conversation between strangers that delivers the exact, perfect answer. Your old mind was trained to dismiss this as mere coincidence, a fun little spiritual wink from the universe. But this is not a cute phenomenon. This is physics. This is the first tangible proof that the field is beginning to organize itself around your new coherent frequency. A chaotic, decoherent frequency is reactive. It gets tossed around by the waves of reality. But a stable, coherent frequency becomes a gravitational center. It emits a clear, powerful waveform that begins to pattern the quantum field around it. The synchronicities are the first ripples of this new influence. They are the universe's feedback loop, telling you in the language of mathematics and events. Signal received. We are reorganizing reality to match the new instructions you are broadcasting. This barrage isn't just a sign that you're on the right path. It is the tangible evidence that you have become the path. You are no longer just a traveler on the road of life. You are the gravitational force that is bending the road toward you. Each synchronicity is a quantum echo, a confirmation that your internal coherence is now powerful enough to structure your external reality. The third sign is the most subtle, the most profound, and the one most often mistaken for a problem. It is the still point arrival. After the chaos of the shedding, after the intensity of the synchronistic barrage, there often comes a period of profound quiet, a sense of emptiness, a feeling that can even be interpreted as boredom. The drama ceases. The phone stops ringing. The intense drive to figure it all out dissipates, and you are left in a silent, open space. The ego panics here. It screams, "Something is wrong. I've lost my momentum. I'm depressed. I'm stuck." Let me be perfectly clear. This stillness is not a void. It is the destination. It is the ultimate proof of your graduation. It is the calm after. The storm has passed. The moment your new reality has finished rendering and is now sitting in the background, awaiting your first command. This quiet is the sound of a system that has successfully rebooted. The old operating system of chaos and reaction has been uninstalled, and the new operating system of coherence and creation has been fully loaded. This still point is the most sacred space you can inhabit. It is the clean canvas. It is the silent recording studio. It is the quantum field, scrubbed clean of all prior interference, now perfectly calibrated to your verified frequency, waiting for you to issue your first decree. To feel this emptiness and not panic. To rest in this stillness and not rush to fill it with noise is the mark of a true graduate. It is the sign that you understand that you are no longer here to react to reality, but to generate it from this place of pristine, potent peace. The shedding, the barrage, the still point. Look back now. Can you see the pattern? Can you see how a story you may have told yourself about suffering and confusion was actually the precise three-act structure of your own cosmic graduation? Which of these three signs resonates most powerfully with your experience over the last few months? And how does it feel to see it now as undeniable proof of your success instead of a mark of your failure? Feel into that recognition. Let the truth of it settle in your bones. You have the evidence. You have read the quantum fingerprints. There is no more room for doubt. It is time to make it official. It is time to claim it not just intellectually but as a public declaration of your new energetic reality. Comment verified below to officially claim your graduation. Let's create a powerful collective anchor and witness how many others pass this silent test alongside you. You understand it. You've seen the proof in your life. Now, let's feel the frequency you've earned. Let's embody your verified status. The mind can only take us so far. The final step of any graduation is not intellectual, it is somatic. It is a change that must be felt in the very cells of your being. So I invite you now in this moment to find a comfortable position. Close your eyes if you feel safe to do so. Take a slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, release the day. Release the noise. Release everything but your own presence. Right here, right now. We are going to do something simple, but profound. We are going to calibrate your entire energy system to the signal you have just been verified for. Let's begin by recalling the old frequency, the frequency of the test itself. For just a moment, I want you to remember what it felt like to be in the midst of the chaos, the pressure, the uncertainty. Don't get lost in the story. Just feel the energetic signature of it. Feel the static of confusion that hummed beneath the surface of everything. A subtle vibration of not knowing, of striving, of pushing against a reality that would not yield. Feel it in your body. Where did that frequency live? In the tightness of your chest? The knot in your stomach? The tension in your shoulders? Acknowledge it. This was the frequency of the student, anxiously awaiting the grade. The frequency of trying to solve an impossible problem with an exhausted mind. It was a waveform of instability, a signal of becoming. Breathe into that feeling one last time, without judgment. Thank it for the strength it forged in you. And now, on your next exhale, let it all go. Release it completely. Watch it dissolve from your field like smoke into the wind. The test is over. That frequency is no longer required. And in the space that remains, I want you to bring your awareness to the center of your chest, to your heart space. See a single point of light beginning to form there. It might be small at first, like a distant star. Just observe it. This is the seed of your new coherence. As you place your attention on it, it begins to grow brighter, warmer, more stable. This is your core signal, the true you that held strong through the entire storm. Now from high above, from the very center of the universal field, a beam of pure golden white light descends. It moves with purpose, with official intent. This is the light of verification. It enters the top of your head, your crown, and it is not aggressive. It is a warm, liquid light of pure recognition. It flows down through your mind, clearing away the static of the old thoughts. It flows into your throat, unlocking the voice of your new authority. And it flows down into your heart, connecting with that point of light, that core signal of yours. And as the two lights meet, a powerful reaction occurs. A seal forms, A cosmic, energetic stamp of approval is pressed gently, but irrevocably, into your entire energy field. You might feel a subtle pressure, a shift, a click as it locks into place. Across this seal, a single word burns in radiant, living light. Verified. Feel this. Feel what this word means. It is not a concept. It is a frequency. It is an operational state. The word verified pulses outwards from your heart, sending a wave of absolute coherence through your entire being. Feel this wave of coherence move through your chest, calming the last echoes of anxiety. Feel it move down through your solar plexus, dissolving that old knot of uncertainty, and replacing it with a profound sense of self-possession. Feel it move down through your hips, your legs, all the way to the soles of your feet, grounding you into this new reality with unshakable stability. The static is gone. The struggle is gone. The desperate seeking is gone. What remains? Feel what remains. This is your new baseline. This is your home frequency. Notice its qualities. Notice the quiet, the stillness. This is not an empty quiet. It is a full quiet. It is the silence of a perfectly tuned instrument ready to be played. Notice the stability. It feels solid, centered, unwavering. Storms can rage around this frequency, but they cannot touch it. It is the calm at the eye of the hurricane. Notice the clarity. The mental fog has lifted. There is an intuitive knowing that requires no external proof. Notice the power. It is not a loud, aggressive power. It is a deep, resonant power. The power of a river, moving with silent, unstoppable force. This is the frequency of a graduate. The frequency of an anchor point for a new reality. Let this feeling, this stable, clear, powerful frequency, saturate every single cell of your body. Let it reprogram your physical form to this new reality. Let it become the very ground of your being. This is you. This is you now. This is your home. Take a final, deep breath and breathe this new reality all the way in. Anchor it. Own it. And when you are ready, gently, slowly, bring your awareness back to the room, back to your physical body. But keep the feeling, do not let it go. You don't have to. It is yours. You earned it. As you feel into this new verified state, what single word describes the texture of this new reality for you? Peace, clarity, power. Find your word. Let it be the anchor you use to return here anytime you need. You are no longer a test taker. Let that sink into the very marrow of your bones. The examination is complete. The proctors have left the room. You are a reality architect operating from a verified frequency. This is your new identity. It is not something you aspire to. It is what you are. And every architect needs their tools, their schematics, their operational manual for working with the fundamental forces of creation. What you held before were the tools of a student, tools of hope, of effort, of striving. Those can now be put away. Your new toolkit is one of authority, of being, of effortless command. Here is your new operational manual. The first and most critical tool is for state management. The old reality will send echoes. Old thought patterns, old anxieties, old doubts will ripple through the field, attempting to see if they can still find a resonant home within you. They are ghosts. They are phantom signals from a broadcast tower that has been decommissioned. But they can feel real. When this happens, you do not fight them. You do not analyze them. You simply activate your primary tool. We call it the frequency lock. It is a simple, 30-second recalibration technique to instantly return you to the center of your verified power, to your home frequency. It is a neurological and energetic failsafe. Here is how you use it. The moment you feel the pull of an old, decoherent state, the static of fear, the weight of doubt, the sting of a painful memory, you stop. You do not engage the thought. You engage the body. You take one deep conscious breath, and on the exhale you internally state the command, lock sequence initiated. Then you perform 3 simple actions. First, you name it. You mentally say, this is the verified frequency. You are not asking, you are not hoping. You are labeling the state you wish to occupy. You are giving your subconscious mind a direct, unambiguous target. Second, you feel it. You immediately recall the embodied sensation from our calibration exercise. That feeling of peace, of clarity, of quiet, unshakable power. The texture of your new reality. You don't have to generate it from scratch. You just have to remember it. The memory itself is a resonant key that unlocks the state. Let the feeling, however subtle at first, begin to warm your chest, your solar plexus. Third, you lock it. You create a simple physical anchor. Clench your fist for 3 seconds. Press your thumb and forefinger together. Tap your sternum twice. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you do the same anchor every single time. As you perform this physical action, you mentally declare, frequency locked. Name it, feel it, lock it. This entire process takes less than half a minute, but its effect is profound. It short-circuits the old neural pathways of reaction and carves a new superhighway back to your core stability. The echoes of the old world require your engagement to survive. By using the frequency lock, you deny them resonance. You become a non-conductive material for fear. Practice this. Practice it when you don't need it, so it becomes muscle memory for when you do. Your second tool fundamentally changes how you interact with the quantum field. It is called the decree of is. As a student in the test, you were taught to manifest, to ask, to visualize, to script, to hope. You were operating from a frequency of lack, trying to attract something that you perceived as separate from you. This is the physics of a lower density reality. You are no longer in that reality. From a verified frequency, manifestation is not an act of attraction. It is an act of recognition. Your stable, coherent waveform has a much more direct and powerful effect on the field of potential. It doesn't need to slowly coax a reality into being. It collapses the probability of that reality by its mere presence. Therefore, you no longer ask. You decree. You speak your desires not as future hopes, but as simple statements of existing fact. The universe is no longer a catalog you order from. It is a mirror reflecting the state you hold. Instead of saying, I want to be abundant, and which is a statement that anchors you in the frequency of wanting, you now operate from the decree, I am abundance. Instead of thinking, I hope to find a loving partner, which broadcasts a signal of searching, you embody the statement, I am love, fully expressed and received. This is not a mental trick. This is a report of your energetic reality. When you say, I am, from a verified frequency, the quantum field has no choice but to rush and conform to your declaration. It hears your coherent signal as a command, a fundamental law of your local universe. The decree of is you, as the architect, signing the blueprint and declaring construction complete. The physical materials then have no choice but to arrange themselves according to the signed-off plan. Speak your world into being not from a place of want but from a place of fact. This leads us to your third tool, which is the most effortless of all. We call it coherent broadcasting. Previously, you may have tried to change your environment, to fix broken dynamics, to heal difficult relationships, to force outcomes through action and will. This was the exhausting work of an unstable frequency trying to impose order on a chaotic field. From your verified status, you influence your environment simply by being. Think of your energy field as a powerful broadcast tower. When it was broadcasting static, a decoherent signal, it added to the chaos of the world. But now it broadcasts a pure, stable, coherent signal. This signal, this frequency of peace and order, automatically and without effort begins to entrain the environment around it. This is the physics of constructive interference. You will walk into a tense room, and without saying a word, the tension will begin to dissipate. Your calm becomes more influential than the chaos. You will engage in a difficult conversation, and your centered presence will prevent it from escalating. You will find that resonant opportunities, people, and resources simply appear in your field, drawn to the clarity of your signal. Your only job is to hold your state. That's it. You don't have to do anything. You are no longer a flashlight trying to cut through the darkness. You are a sun, Your very existence illuminates and organizes everything around you. Your work is no longer in the doing, but in the being. Trust the power of your broadcast. These are your new tools. The frequency lock, for state recovery. The decree of is, for creation. Coherent broadcasting for effortless influence. They are the toolkit of a reality architect. What is the first decision you will now make from this new place of verified frequency? A decision that was impossible for you just weeks ago. To integrate this new operational status, I will give you one final, simple framework. A daily practice. It takes 5 minutes. Think of it as the architect reviewing the master plan before the workday begins. Every morning, before you engage with the world, before you check your phone or read your emails, you will sit for just 5 minutes. For the first 2 minutes, you will intentionally activate and feel your verified frequency. The calm, the stability, the clarity. You will let it saturate your body. For the next 2 minutes, you will choose one decree of is for the day. I am clarity in my work. I am joyful connection. I am effortless flow. You will feel the truth of this statement as if it is already done. And for the final minute, you will simply acknowledge your role as a coherent broadcaster.